And hopefully you're having a good day. Welcome to my little Wheel of Life little workshop. It won't take that long, and we'll try to go explain everything that needs to be done. So as you may know me, my name is Jean-Luc Allaire. My program is called Blueprint for a Life of Peace and Joy. And we'll start right away here with, I got a little slideshow here, so we'll start with this. Give me a second. And I'm gonna swap a couple of things here, and then I got to do this to be able to share the screen, which I will share number 2 screen with you. And so then you should be able to see the screen. And like I say, so my name is Jean-Luc Allaire. This is a slide I've done because I do live. That's why I do some live, and other people introduce me. So yeah, I'm a speaker, visionary life coach, and international. I used to do a lot of speaking through the oil and fuel gas. I did in South Korea, in Frankfurt, in Madrid, and a couple other, like all over the place. I can't even. So I went through years ago, I went through bankruptcy and a lot of divorces. Well, not a lot of divorce, but one divorce and a few relationship. And then after that, I got great success. But then 3 years ago, I went through the cancer adventure. So I won't go too much into my history right now in this. This is fairly simple. We just want to go through this today. For more of this, then I have the other webinar that would tell more about my story. So yeah, I do past life regression. I'm a master Reiki for over 30 years, teacher of managing your thoughts and power of the word. That is very, very powerful. But importantly, I'm a student of life. So here today to show you how to control fear and learn to manage anxiety and stress through creating a personal vision. So what I work with is long-term vision and creating a lot of vision to be able to stop the stress and stop the fear. But today I do a little GIF here that it's about a short-term vision using the Wheel of Life. And as you can see in the back, I have a big one here, but I'll explain more a little bit. This one should be done every 3 or 4 months. So it does quiet your fear and anxiety and say goodbye to negative stress when you're able to do it. So the short-term one is an easy one to do. It's not the long-term project, but you can see a little bit of the action that's needed. So yeah, 25, I had business, 50 employees. I was successful, father of 3, moved across the country. I got 5 grandkids, and I'll skip a bit of the story. I want to get more into what it is that does for you. So yeah, it does create a positive outlook and manage some of the anxiety, because you start to see where you're at today and what could you do for the next couple of months, right? The thing about dream and wishing is a big difference when I work on the long term with my client. Wish is like somebody tell me, oh, I wish I played guitar, or I wish I spoke French because I'm French. And then I'll meet them 10 years later. So, and they say the same thing. I wish I played guitar. I wish I spoke French, but there's no action. So when you have your dream and we create a vision with your dreams, there's action. So if you say to me, I want to play guitar, my dream is to play guitar, not be a rock star, but I want to be able to play like 20 songs for my kids. And then we make a plan. In 10 years, you'll play 20 songs and more, because there's a lot of songs that are the same. So one of the many tools, so I'll show you this quick tool today to lift your spirit in the Wheel of Life. So like I said before, you go on my site and you can print those. You just got to go to jeanlucallaire.com, and then you go and print those to work with. And what we do with these is very, very important. So you get all the worksheets. So now we'll start with this. So if you have your worksheet in front of you, you can basically, I'll go through every one of them because sometimes people ask questions. And the way I'm doing it, it's as fast as you have to answer it. You cannot take like half an hour to answer the question. So now when we start, because we'll start with the top one here. So professional life. So finance and money. Where are you in your finance and money? Like how happy are you where you're at from 1 to 10? Like, are you happy the way you handle your finance? You're happy as how much money you have or how much money is coming in? Like, where are you in these, right? And right now you should have the answer. Don't think too much about it. That's what it is. And then we go career and work. So the work you do today and the career you have, are you happy with it? Is that fulfill you, or you hate your work, or whatever? So decide what number from 1 to 10 is your career and your work at. Is it a 5? Is it an 8? You're happy, fairly happy, or not? Then we'll go to creative life. So between your vitality and health, how is your vitality? How's your energy and your health all around? Are you somebody that does a lot of exercise? You eat healthy, or you think you're not healthy? You have no energy, and you have a hard time to move around. So from 1 to 10, where are you with your health and your vitality? Like when people call you to do something, yes, I got the power, I can go. And then the next one is pleasures and leisure. These are very important, and you have to, what brings you pleasure in the things you do, right? Are you a painter? Are you a writer? Do you go a lot of walking? And I know a lot of people that do hiking. They love the nature, and it's good for their health. And then leisure. To me, I'm a big movie buff, and then it was hard when COVID, and now we can go back to the movie. I only been once because I'm really busy, but I love going to movies. That's my popcorn and a big screen movie. That's one of my leisure that I like. But I do a lot of other stuff. Like I do a lot of sports. And so where are you on 1 to 10? Are you low where you should find more time for your stuff that you love to do and do other stuff? Then we go to social life. So your social life, your environment. To me, environment is more like your living space, your house. Like to me, my environment when I went to COVID, when I did it through COVID, it was still a 9 because I love my house. Like in summertime, I got lots of flowers. It's a 6-bedroom house, which I live alone with my dogs, but it's also where I receive a lot of people, and I do a lot of supper and get together. And why it's not a 10 is because I got too much stuff. I travel a lot, and I love stuff for my travels. I got a lot of stuff in my garage, and my kitchen is the same because I love cooking. I need all the tools. So it's cluttered. So that's why it's not a 10. But where are you in this? So then community, when I did mine during COVID, it was really low because I couldn't communicate. I couldn't get with people, and I found my community lacking, and I had to find ways to bring that up. And we can talk about that after. And then love life. Love life is very important. So friends and family, where are you from 1 to 10? To the closeness to your friends and your family. I know COVID has taken a lot of toll on a lot of people because you couldn't get with your friends, like a lot of stuff we couldn't do together. And your family. In my case, I live in West Canada, and I got a lot of family in East Canada and Quebec and New Brunswick and some in Ontario. So to me, I found disconnected. So I had to find ways to reconnect. And Zoom and Facebook Live and a couple of those were very good for me to bring that back up. Now, couple in love, I'm a single guy, and I know a lot of people are single. And what does that mean? That means the love that you have for yourself. So to me, some people ask me, "Oh, you're single?" Well, I'm more like a threesome. What do you mean? They're gonna look at me funny. Me, myself, and I. So me, myself, and I, we have the conversation in my head, and I got to be careful when I tell that because they think you're schizophrenic. But we all have the different personalities in our head, and like sometimes you have to be the leader, sometimes not. Sometimes you're the father, you're the grandfather, you're the lover, or you're the manager when you're business. So those, how much do you love them? Like, how much do you love yourself? How much do you take care of yourself? So that's where the love life comes in. It's about you to love yourself, to know what you want, and not let people take advantage of you. When you say yes to something, you say it from love, you say it from the heart, not because you think they're not going to like you. But where are you in this? If you're in a couple, then where are you as a couple, right? With your spouse. So 1 in 10. I explain it more for the single people that say, hey, I don't have a spouse, I'm not in a couple. But a couple is yourself. How well are you taking care of yourself? Then we go life purpose. This is very, very important as we grow. So the growth in your life, like how do you like the growth that you have? Have you grown a lot in your life? Do you like the way you have grown, you have changed toward your life? So from 1 to 10, which one is it? And then you got spirituality. Spirituality is also tied to a lot of people that would look at religion, if they're really religious, where they work from a place of love. But from 1 to 10, how are you spirituality, which means inside of you, how happy are you with where you are, where you can deal with things, where you can meditate. If you're religious, the prayer is not religious. You can pray even if you don't belong to any church. But how happy are you with the way you are within yourself, with your spirituality, with the universe, or your religion? And so that's very important. So as we do this, so now you should be done, because that's it. You don't have to think too much about it. So then we'll go. That's the worksheet to explain just everything I went by. So you choose a number, right? So now you're going to put a number, and I have the worksheet, that full worksheet to write on. And they're very important to do properly, right? And there's 10 of them. There's 10 of them. There's one for each section. So now in professional life, you say, well, I got problem with my finance, my money. Then if you put a 3, for example, I'll show you my wheel of life I've done. One I've done before. When I first did it a year and a half ago or something, that it didn't look like a wheel. It was pretty screwy, and I had some notes about COVID. And I said, well, some of them change even during COVID. And now as we were talking, I did mine, and I just colored fast. I didn't do it dark, and it looks more like a wheel, right? So now you have to put the number that you had on your wheel like here. And then you got to talk to that number. So why did I choose this number, right? Let's say you put a 5. I'm happy. I got enough money to pay my bills and do what I need to do. I don't worry about next month. I have enough food, and my car payments are done, and all that. But you'd like to have more. You put a 5. So you'd say, well, what made me choose this number? Well, I have enough. And what do I need to work on to make it a higher number? Well, I'd like to learn more about how to save money or how to invest or whatever. And then, okay, so you write that down on your sheet, right? You got to write everything down. What can I do to bring this number up in the next 3 months? Well, then you say, well, I'd like to take a course on investment, like nothing big, or talk to some investment people without anything, just to learn more, so my mind can understand more about the finance and money. And they say, what can I start doing today? Well, today I can do a research who I can talk to. Like, I can ask a bunch of people, who do you talk to that's good with money, or that give advice, investment advice for free? Like, you don't have to pay for this. A lot of people do it for free to get you started. And who can I get help me to be accountable to my plan? So this is usually easier when someone's got the same problem, and you can work together, find somebody that also wants to learn more, and then you get together, compare notes, and then you talk to somebody. It's usually there's a lot of Zoom. You can talk to people online and do it together. And then you can ask question. So because sometimes you forget to ask question, your partner will ask question, and then you become accountable because you work together for the next 3 months to understand, right? And then you do that with all of them. So your career and work, same thing. And then creative life, vitality, health. What can I do to bring this number? So what number you put there? If you're very healthy, if you're a 10 because you're a runner, you're perfect health, which I don't know too many of those people. But if you're not, then what can you do, right? What do you choose a number? Well, I'd like to start running again. I'd like to eat better, start cutting down on some junk food, whatever. So then what can I do in the next 3 months? Well, you could either hire somebody to help you at the gym, or just, so remember, the bigger the problem, the smaller the step. So if you're a person that never exercise, well, then you can start walking slowly, right? Do a little walk every day, and then start cutting down a bit on the junk. If you do too much, you'll just quit. So don't do that. So for the next 3 months, you want to learn and bring some habits to make you healthy, if that's what you need. And what can I start doing today? Well, today you can do research, and then you can find somebody that's got the same plan as you. So if you have we have 10 different sheets, you could have 10 different partners for these, right? It doesn't have to be the same person, because somebody might want to learn about finance, but they don't care about their health because they're healthy enough to them. But you want health and you want to learn about finance, then you could have 2 different person to be accountable to that plan you're going to make. Same thing, pleasure and leisure. Like, what can I do today? So you go through this, all of them, like we just did, the number, talk to it, and write them down on the worksheet. It's very important, because in 3 months from now, you will have to go again. So love life, friends, and a couple of love, your life purpose, Very, very important with your spirituality. So what are you going to do with the worksheet now? Once you're done, you're going to take your worksheet, and right at the top, right here, you're going to put the number. You're going to put them in order. So you're going to put them on the table, and you're going to have to put a number from 1 to 10. What does it mean from 1 to 10? From 1 to 10, it will be, let me finish this here. I want to stop the sharing. And you're going to put 1 to 10, and you put them down, and you're going to pick which one is more important to you to bring up. Which of these 10 effect that you have there on that wheel of life is the most important for you to work on the next 3 months, right? And then you put 1 to 10, not too far, just on the side, because in 3 months, you're going to have to do a number again. So you put them in order, 1 to 10. Which one's more important to work on today? Like, you might not have time to work on the 10, but if there's 2 or 3 that are very important to you, then you got to put them on top and do action every day, and then staple them and put them together and keep them close by to look at it every day. In 3 months or 4 months, whenever you want, then you sit down again and redo the wheel. I guarantee $100 if you don't change that, it will not look the same. This was my first one, and then also I knew what I had to work on, and I did. And even if it's only one change, and then now today it's more balanced, right? Still not perfect. I still work. I'm still hard on myself. But from this to this, right? And I don't know, a year, maybe less, because I do it often, but I kept the worst one. And then when you redo it again, I guarantee the ones you have made priority, you would have had changed some stuff. And sometimes it's not a big thing. Like, for example, the family, what the connection with your social life. What I did last Christmas, because I found myself with the COVID being stuck and not being able to see too many people. I still had friends that came over that were close to me and stuff like this. But I did a challenge to myself with the 10 days of Christmas, because I have a lot of family in New Brunswick, a lot of family in Quebec, and some in Ontario. I decided I was going to call 4 person a day on the Zoom and Facebook Live. And only 1 or 2 of my older uncles and aunt that were not computer savvy that I did a phone call. The rest was all like this, like on the Zoom or the Facebook Live. I could see their face, they could see my face, and it felt like a real visit. Plus, when I cleaned my office last September, I found Christmas cards, 3 different types. There was some in French, some bilingual, some English. So what I did, I sent Christmas card out, because I felt the disconnect. And all my aunt and uncle and some of my cousins that were my age, they were pretty psyched about receiving a Christmas card, because you don't do that anymore. In my day, in the old days, we used to hang up all the old Christmas cards, all the Christmas cards from the past. You'd have your Christmas tree, you'd have the strings, and all the Christmas card would be hanging. And that was a great conversation piece when I talked to my family, when I was getting on the Zoom call, and they were all happy. Thank you for the cards. And then I had a handwritten note, cursive, which kids don't learn anymore. So that was like really going back in time for my family. So I felt that connection. Even though it was COVID, my number went way up. Like, when they look at my number, so they went way up. And that's the power of this little exercise. And what I find, this is not what I use in my classes, because it's too short of term to really, but it does create the knowledge of where you are today. Because when you work with your life, you want to go to A to B. If you don't know where A is, which is where you are today, then it's a problem, because how could you tell a GPS where to go if you don't have a starting point? Life is the same way. So when you know where your A is, and that's what that helps you to do, then you can say, I want to go there. And in a case of a GPS, you go A to B, and if there's something in construction or accident and you get there, the GPS will not start swearing, which would be pretty funny. It'll just, and a lot of people that grew up with the angry people, he would say, oh, no, that's it. We're going back home. That's too much trouble. The GPS itself will just say recalculate, right? Make you turn, go around, takes a bit longer, but you'll get to B. And that's what people forget. There's always going to be some problems, and fearing it or stressing about it, 90% of the time it won't happen what you're stressing about, right? You just take away your life when you're in fear. So this helps a bit. but it's a start, and you can share that because it's free. You go on my site and you're going to get it for free. You print it, and even teenage like to do that exercise. So if you know anybody that's got stress and a little bit of fear, this is an easy exercise where they won't feel threatened because it's really simple, it's easy, and then you can share that. Like the other ones I do are more in depth, and you need people to open their mind to be able to do that. But I hope that was helpful, and I hope you will enjoy doing it. And I look forward to hear from any of you. So have a great day.